Greetings and salutations, one and all. It's good to see you. I realize things have been hectic, so I understand you guys not showing up here. Also, the fact that I haven't been streaming as regularly as I once was. Um, Busy with a lot of stuff, preoccupied. Many blessings hidden in all of that burden. But yeah, I was having a few interesting conversations. Um, it was, if you're not up to date with what's going on in California, it's reaching the apex when it comes to pushback against ICE. Um, I've seen, the ICE posters. I participated and stuff. Don't talk to ICE. Disseminating everything in different languages, trying to help people understand ISIS is not our friend. Um, and I find it just truly ironic. You look at um, why Mexico is so evil. It's been vilified throughout all of this stuff. A lot of that shit. Let's be honest. Is agent provocateurs, FBI agents, CIA agents pretending to be regular people. Let's not act like that's not the case. But um, a good amount of that, the people who had California and all of this land previously were not Caucasian, right? It's a bunch of brown people that we vilify. Mexico, California was Mexico, Texas, all that shit. It was always someone else's land. So it's like the story they tell about Israel, like this land, it belonged to these people. They were Jewish. These Jewish people is like, yeah, that back when the time they're trying to evoke the people who lived in that area, it was called Kemet, the land of the blacks, black soil. Um, and it's just like if they had, that's where modern day Abrahamic religion came from. It's derived from. It's the fucking bastardization of what they were trying to teach. But yeah, the people who were back then, back in the day when it was Kemet, like there was no Europeans, and that's it's like one of those things that befuddles me. It's like why are darker skinned people called African American if we're all from Africa, right? It's just like if that's the source material, and it's just more or less it's just science taking time to confirm what people have been saying for many millennia before Western powers started pushing their demonic evil wills upon people. I'm talking about the psychotic people who run the whole show. They keep people out of the know. The people who you see um, the regular people standing up against. Like I said, I think a good amount of that violence in California is agent provocateurs. But it's just like they really showed their true colors. When talking about Mexico, it was like these people, they're entitled to their land. It works for white people. That's Israel is nothing but reparations for white people. And then they if you're against Zionism, they call you anti-Semitic, and you're really just like against uh, white supremacy, theft of land, death of culture, erasure of history. If you're against that, really, it's just like one of the more frustrating things is like how many people internalize history starting with Rome, Greeks in Rome, and then it's just like some stuff about Egypt, aliens or something. They had stuff. They had alien help, but it's like you look at like the oldest civilizations. They're currently being bombed by America, because we think we're the biggest big bad shit, youngest country formed by the British Empire. Um, And Britain is really behind all of this shit. They're behind. They created Israel. They created Australia, Canada, America. Those are the big troublemakers in the world. Talking about morality and violence when all of their society is built on violence. You look at America, it was like I had to watch this service with commercials. Oh yeah, now it's just commercials on everything, even if you pay for service. That's why I don't pay. I just take people's passwords. But anyways, you get just a bunch of these ridiculous commercials. And one of the things is it's like this is like nothing but fucking wall to wall Pfizer ads. It's like something they're really pushing for is clinical trials. Like they're trying to like, yeah, you got all this shit wrong with you. Let's do clinical trials. Did you get are you up to date on your boosters? Might as well join clinical trials. But yeah, it's yeah. It was a broader point I was trying to get to. I just ended up going on a tangent because I have been getting frustrated with ads. I'm just gonna bring back Napster. That's why I gotta end up suing Google and YouTube. For over 11 years of censorship, they never made shit right. So I need $11 billion, and then once I do that, I'm bringing Napster back. Napster, if you weren't around during the Napster era, it's going to be a life-changing experience. I'm even going to fund these things. It's like Napster for your phone tap to pay, where it's just like you just get unlimited taps. No matter what you're tapping on, it just goes through. Just the Napster version. You're gonna have to unlock your phone. But it's like, yeah, once I get my $11 billion, I'll fund the research on that for you guys. But yeah. And one of the things that was like, I found problematic with the conversation I had about what's going on in California is I have a sibling who's just like, he's noticing how bad it is. It's just like, we got this authority. And I'm like I'm like, yeah, dude, like, I kind of saw that shit coming. That's why I had to get out of California. Like I experienced that police state. And then as soon as you get out of the state, assuming you don't go into like one of the other states that's worse. But it's like a lot of states don't handle shit like they do in California. So I've been stopped without my registration, without insurance, struggling like a motherfucker. The officer could tell I was like living in my car at the time. And then outside of California, like they don't even write you anything. It's just like, oh, I'm trying to get your shit together, right? California, I was too afraid to ever get to that point because I know they'll tow your car no matter what if you're not up to date with your insurance. Your fucking I had like a fix-it ticket for my registration. I ended up getting it fixed, but I didn't know there was a procedure, so that shit ended up spiraling to thousands of dollars to fix. And it was just like it was one of those frustrating things, like other states, it's not the same. California, it's just like when I see people out on cars burning shit down, it's like, yeah, the revolutionary in me is like, yeah, I mean, I love to see people standing up against the power, but I'm also like, yeah, I feel like these motherfuckers are there to bring the full weight of what the government has planned onto the people and use it as justification. But my brother was, like his whole thing was it's just Donald Trump, and he's like, look at what Donald Trump is doing. I'm like, yes, Donald Trump is horrible. He's one of those people I had to keep clarifying. He is someone I will never vote for. He's not the solution to any of my problems or yours, right? But the Democrats are worse, right? And the overwhelming response I get to that from family, especially mostly military, my family is I see a lot of Kamala and all of them. That's probably why they liked her, but I don't trust her. Good reason. But anyways, um, yeah, I was like telling this to my sibling. He was like talking about like, oh, they coming for our brown brothers and all this shit. And I'm like, okay, yes, and he was making it seem like that's the only Donald Trump thing. And I'm like, you know, like Barack Obama was the deporter in chief, right? But yeah, but Donald Trump is racist. I'm like, yeah, that's, you know, like people like Barack Obama and Joe Biden brought slavery back to Africa, right? And he just said, yeah, but we just need to focus on him. And I'm just like, no, it's you replace him, the system continues as usual. And like he is not helping the situation. He is a conduit for the evil that controls everything. But you know, like really, that's why I got the fan. It's a little tilted, but it's going to involve people actually coming together to do something about this shit. ICE. I mean, I'm disappointed with all this shit. I'm all on board with this. But every time I get around like large groups of people, I'm always distrusting of people who just get too animated. Like, oh man, I do not condone a good amount of what I've seen some of the cops do when it came to protests out here. But I was at one where it was just like it was someone who was spitting on them. And this dude, like, you can't tell me he was not like an agent provocateur. He was doing shit like none of it was warranted. But he just kept like doing this and acting like he was, you know, doing it on behalf of the people who were there. And it's just like I always get weary when I see people going to that. But then at the same time, I also understand like some people are animated because they saw some fucked up shit. You know, like people, you know, they had ICE kidnap their grandma, you know, while she was holding her grandbaby. And it's just like they take them out, do some vile shit to them, or people just standing up because they you know they're not for a genocide. People against you know killing a bunch of people in the land of Jesus. But you know, it's some people still numb to it. People are waking up. You know, a lot of people are just you know oblivious because they were raised in a culture where they're told they're Christian, and they tell everyone they're Christian. But they, you know, most of their family kills people for the government. They're government hitmen, like our country. It's just like you know, it's more so a continuance of the powers that control us. Because you know, Israel. I mean, Israel founded by war criminals too. But like countries like America, Australia, it was like people. They were all criminals, debtors, prisoners, people who were in jail for being poor. They got an opportunity to get their own land, stealing and colonizing, in Australia. Um, and in a large way, you can kind of see what Israel has in mind. Um, Something like America, where you know they commit genocide, steal all this shit, then they pay like tribute to the Gazan people, you know, at the beginning of events. It's like, oh, this land used to belong to the Gazans, and it's just like, and that's kind of what it looks like their agenda is. Um, and the same people that you know, like you know, like the ICE enforcement, that garbage. That's more so for continuing the status quo when it comes to uh, a lot of the poverty we see. You know, you bring in desperate people from outside of the country. You give them the jobs in the fields. Make people mad at the immigrant who's often thrown into slavery, where it's just like they're not getting paid, but they can't go to anybody because they'll be deported or put in one of those for-profit detention centers. So it's like you know that's how there's multiple states that have slavery to this day using those methods. And ICE is an enforcer of this kind of shit. Um, uh, and one of the things that just makes me angry is how people just have so dehumanized random brown people. And people get mad at other people's countries. They're mad at the Iranian government, they're mad at Chinese government. And it's just like, I'm not vouching for any of these governments. I don't trust any government, starting with my own. All right, I'm not going to be mad at some people over across the rest of the world and what they got going on when trying to bring democracy to the Middle East, a country that's like Japan has businesses older than America. You know, my history goes back a lot further than the Roman Empire and the families that ended up running Rome into the ground, that went to London, and the Nazis, they were the Third Reich, and now we're on the Fourth Reich. You know, it's just run by a handful of families who can create nothing of value. Your Elon Musk, people think he invented the electric car and shit, right? He bought that shit from someone else, just like Bill Gates bought Windows from someone else. He was connected. Elon Musk was connected. Emerald miner, colonizing scum, thief. A lot of those South Africans, they moved to Israel to perpetuate the apartheid system they see out there. And we're supposed to be celebrating them because they're getting their ancient land back, the land where their ancestors dwelled. It's like saying, this is my home because my ancestors, they came from this land. And you could tell because it was the people with the red shoes, and I got red shoes. They had red shoes. We don't have any blood ties, but it's just like the red shoes. That's what it's like when they talk about you hate the Jews. It's like, yeah, no. It's just like I'm able to notice the hypocrisy, and it's just until we give Mexico back to or California back to Mexico, along with Arizona, and we just give the whole West Coast and just the whole continent we just call it Turtle Island. That's what the natives used to call it. It's their land. The current stewards have proven to be unfit. It's just like we have senile old people pretending to pull strings while we build economies on death, destruction, completely unsustainable. You got money for wars, can't feed the poor. So it's since this government is completely unfit, I mean, why don't we give it back to the Mexicans? Like, let the people with the Mexican flags, like, come on, y'all, this is Mexico now. Plus, I was like saving up for a trip to Mexico because it would be cheaper for me to travel to Mexico and get some dental work done than it would be for me to get the dental work done here locally. Like, I would save money and I would get a free vacation. We could make it a lot easier just turning California to Mexico. But yeah, there was something afoot. Sorry, didn't notice the comments first. I caught the strain, manipulation tactic, indubitably. Elon Musk is an idiot. Absolutely. He like talks like he knows something. He talks like he talks to engineers, and he's like, "Give me a few buzzwords, so I sound like I earned my money." Meanwhile, just the biggest welfare queen in the world, and this motherfucker's talking about other people are wasting tax dollars. Welfare, Social Security, that's a big scam. Meanwhile, he became the world's publicly richest person off of the backs of taxpayers, people like the government subsidies. and that should be criminal. If you got like over $1 million and you're still getting government subsidies while talking about waste and abuse and Social Security, like you should be arrested automatically. Anybody, I mean, you can even take out the talk about critiquing Social Security. You're a millionaire or let alone billionaire off of government money. Lock them up. That's a crime. Do you have lobbyists? Okay, now lobbying is illegal. We know that this corrupt government has allowed you to get away with it for so long, but that makes no sense. It's not in our best interest to have a bunch of secret deals made behind our back. So you're locked up, you're arrested, and you better hurry up and get into lockup because the people with the guillotines are behind me. I'm the sensible person. We got Luigi's brother Mario. He got free. He's coming for you. So, and we got Pelosi. They got the dude with the hammer. He just got bail. Come on, just go into lockup before the people come for you, and we can film your first flight into poverty. I want to get your facial reaction, getting your first overdraft fees. You're like, oh my God, what is this? I'm poor, and now I'm being charged for being poor instead of making money on my. Yeah, it's a different life. I want to see the rich people have that experience the luxury of struggle. Gerontocracy, yeah, nothing but old farts who've been corrupt longer than I've been alive. Just and then Joe Biden is literally from a family of crackheads, and he was a Klan member, and we're supposed to vote for him because he's the better alternative to Trump. Well, if you actually think that Joe Biden is like that's the best we can do, then why aren't you for the revolution? They give you a senile old crackhead who collaborates with the Nazis and Klan members, who created the 1994 crime bill while his son is counting up 21 grams of crack. That's what we're supposed to get behind. Then I'm burning this whole shit down. Like it's just there's no use for it. Their version of democracy, democracy is getting in them streets, seeing your will executed by the government that claims to represent you. What up, black man? The melanin motherfucker. No. Build his image off being an average citizen, and nothing in his life had been of an average income. Well, and this is the thing. This is the thing I wish more people understood. I got nothing to like someone who actually came from nothing and made money doing something, right? But when we talk about people who come from so much money where they can't go broke, right? The people who actually pull strings of power, right? These people, they come from, I mean, they always say they're a self-made man. Always, the most self-made people are the people who come from the richest fucking backgrounds, in my experience. And it's just, I did a video. It was a billionaire son who was giving financial advice to poor people. And his whole solution, he didn't just say shoot out of a rich dude's nutsack. He was just talking. And this is someone who was brave enough to post that shit online. I've ran into a few just people who are so wealthy it just distorted their view of reality. And Elon he's from that background. Like he views himself as someone like, I became the richest man. He's like, you come from all kinds of money and privilege. Like you're privileged to be so connected to the government that you can get them to give you billions of dollars in contracts or welfare, stealing money from us to create your fucking cybernetic robots, the cars that you can control remotely. And then putting out actual competition so we don't get access to better vehicles that they have in China. And it's just like we're protecting domestic business, but Elon Musk is not even an American. He's the only African American whose opinion matters in the White House. Nate, are you an archer now? I mean, nothing's wrong with my aim. Just have to change my target, I suppose. I'm a revolutionary. I just got back. I had to help Ibrahim Traore. He had some cool attempts. I was with the people who were sleeping outside, making sure he was all right. You know, I took an arrow to the shoulder and the knee and got the knee pads. You can't see him, but yeah, such is the struggle. Biden and Strom Thurmond worship. That's what I'm saying. He hung out with multiple Klan members. Created the 1994 crime bill that targeted specifically black communities because he wasn't looking in his sunroom. And y'all know I'm a firm believer that Joe Biden created the 1994 crime bill so him and his family could smoke all of America's crack without interruption. That's a theory that I have evidence to back up. I mean, I've made several videos with video evidence. This is before Google created their fake news machine and ChatGPT to try to blur reality from the falsehoods they create. What's up, Nate? I'm excited by the revolution. I'm hopefully optimistic, cautiously optimistic at the same time. Hopefully, it's kind of redundant. Love the fit. Oh, I stay radically threaded. Well, I was offered residency with this gallery to display some of my stuff, and I was going to have some of the stuff. I was going to figure out how to make it available to you guys online. NateFlix.net. When it's updated, I'll post it there. Talk about waste. Big up. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. Glad to see you're alive and well. Well, it's good to be seen by you. Yeah, I know it's hectic. A lot of people, I'm hard to keep up with. I get shut down so enthusiastically. But yeah, I mean, I do have other projects that I'm obscuring some of my connection to, so they don't get shut down and treated like my other content. But yeah. Well, Netflix.net. I'm going to be posting some tour dates because I want to do some travel, and yeah, you can do it. Probably be in a stand-up forum, but Nate don't want to go to work tomorrow. Don't. What's the point? I'm like super happy to have been able to have a few days off. Like I really have to start setting up my space. And also, because it's just like it's gonna be some surprises. I don't know if y'all can see that, but yeah, the Draw My Life 2. I don't know who's OG enough to remember before even employee evaluations or rewinds. I used to have these little whiteboard videos, and that's to pay homage to that. And I wanted to do some stuff with that, but that's going to be in due time. And the Draw My Life video, definitely got to update that. If you haven't seen it yet, you must be a new booty. But yeah, you can find that at Netflix.net. The original Draw My Life one, and the new one's going to have a few twists and turns. Because I stopped the last one like while I was still in high school, and it's a whole multitude of shit that I did not get into, like serious. I mean, some of it I kind of discussed in other videos, but yeah, it's gonna be a doozy. 40K for an engineering degree. That's got to be useful somewhere. Depends on what you're engineering. and feel bad for engineers because you know I've been on Google, Microsoft campuses, other these big tech companies. The engineers usually not from America. They got to farm them from other places because our population is raised to be stupid. Like everything from the fucking metric system, which makes it more difficult for people to understand space, time, and it's just like easier to figure things out when you have like a unified system, when it comes to the metric system. It's like, see, once you know what a meter is, you can go milli or you can go kilometer or what, and just like work from there. And it's just like easier. Okay, 10 of these is that, 10 of those is that. Like, makes sense. Ours is just like, how many feet are in a mile? It's harder to calculate. Like, it's just, other countries realize this. And it's just outside of that, you got the culture of just taking pride in ignorance. And it's just like this. Yeah, so they usually have to get their engineers from these other countries. And then, the patent system is completely bogus. Because all the people who invent it, they never get noticed. The patent goes to the richest people that, you think of all the invention that was created by people in need, people who weren't thinking about, I better go get a patent to figure out how to create something to do, to handle this mildew issue. Like you invent, you don't think about the patent. You have patent trolls who can patent things they've never invented. And then as soon as someone makes it, they just prevent it from hitting the market. And that's what the patent system is designed to do. That's why companies like Google, which is it's a CIA tool, is designed to buy up a bunch of patents for shit that they didn't create, use it to put out competition. It's a monopoly. It's a government funded monopoly. And and then they can censor people and be like, oh, it's a private company, but it's not. It's the government. It's the government's monopoly power. And that's why since they came to market, we got fewer and fewer options. We used to have more smartphones. You used to be able to get Windows, you can get Linux, you can get Palm, you can get BlackBerry, you can get all kinds of shit that is just not available now. Now you got two options. You can run Apple or Android. Yeah, Google is evil. Buildings. Basically, do building inspections for safety. Oh, well, I mean, that's important stuff. Yeah, it's just, I think that's one of those things that should be mandatory. It's just, you think of all the people who need stuff to fix their building or their car, but they're not doing the work that needs to be done because they're poor. That should be government funded. Like if you got brake issues or your engine is having trouble, instead of like pretending it doesn't exist, further increasing the chance that someone else will be hurt. It should be like, oh, your car is fucked up. Well, we have government mechanics or mechanics who are funded by the government, and it's just like that. That's how they make their money. They're not here to rip your head off and say that this is broken so they can fix that, and then you got a real another issue. It's just like we just take care of it all, and it's funded outside of the driver. So you encourage people to go get their car fixed when they see there's an issue. Because I mean, you think of all the times you were struggling, cars just questionable in performance. You hear your brakes squeaking like a motherfucker. They're getting lighter and lighter. You got to go further and further down to stop. And you still just got to make it to work for like another 2 weeks to be able to pay to fix your brakes and the rotors or whatever the fuck you got going. It's just like you need to do better. The main reason I see companies not implement my recommendation is obviously because they don't want to pay the money for it. Then accidents happen. Yes, that's what I'm getting at. They need to offset the burden onto just take the money from the Elon Musks, all of the people who are like getting hundreds of billions of dollars from government contracts. It's just like, nope, that's all that currency is just, I mean, matter of fact, we could just start join BRICS, make it so that anybody who has over $1 million, over $10 million in regular currency, like they have none of the BRICS bucks. We get rid of all the slave trader notes. No, none of these fucking slave trader presidents. We have like currency that's not run by the Federal Reserve, which is a private corporation started by a bunch of European banking cartels. So many wars fought, millions of people killed over this worthless currency. We need to get away from the FIRE economy. That's finance, insurance, real estate. Those are some of the most profitable industries. Like everybody I know for 1 second was trying to become an insurance agent. You know, it was like all these people wanting life insurance. When I saw the uptick of like these mysterious deaths after COVID and the injection became like ubiquitous, I wasn't convinced that it was the shot. Don't get me wrong, I don't fuck with any of that shit. I've created my own cootie shot or a COVID shot, same as the cootie shot. It's injectionless, but yeah, it's just that was one of those tumultuous times, and I had deeper thought to go into. Then I noticed it's like this whole thing was piling up with questions that I didn't notice. Nate, drop the mic with that. The only African American whose opinion that matters in the White House. Yes. Nate's back. Big up. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Talk about waste. Hey, Nate, hoping you're doing well. Remember you speaking a while back about getting your old channels returned from YouTube. Well, I am trying to put together a team for a lawsuit against YouTube. I want $1 billion for each year since my largest channel was taken down. I mean, there's a whole multitude of tactics they deploy to keep a brother down. But, you know, yet I rise, yet I smile. And ironically, you know, I ended up getting back in the theater after like 20 years on hiatus. And I was so excited to be writing a play. I had like, you know, a scene from it aired. It was, you know, from Revolution, the musical. And then I ended up getting my shit censored. And I found out that the theater that it was running in was funded by Bill Gates and a bunch of other nefarious characters. So it's like you get censored online, and then I get away from the online, and then I get censored in real life by the same characters. But yeah, I do have the biggest back catalog of Netflix videos over at Odysee.com. That's ODYSEE spelled differently. Odysee.com/@Netflix. That's got like pretty much all of the videos that were over at Netflix, YouTube Netflix. So I backed it up before they took the channel down. What happened to you? A lot, bro. It's just one of those. It's a long story to get into, but I plan on doing the Draw My Life too. video. If you haven't seen the first one, yeah, you can do that. And by the time you see the second one, it'll overlap in many ways. Is that process still in the works? You're talking about the Odysee.com, or are you still talking about the YouTube? YouTube took down too many of my channels for me to trust them. I have the Rumble app I use. It just automatically is connected to the one last YouTube channel I had, which is my tech channel, which was also affected. I did a video, ironically, the deadliest technologies of 2023 at the end of 2022. And I included Elon Musk multiple times. And that was a video that got censored on my tech channel. And then also Elon Musk, he's in charge of Twitter. Will not call it X. Only X I acknowledges Malik El-Shabazz, El-Hajj Malik Shabazz, sorry. Or better known as Malcolm X. But yeah, Twitter is the only place that censors my content when I use this app. It says, so every time I try to stream on there, it doesn't let me do it. So it's like, I've been censored by everybody. Even my money got cut. PayPal can't use that shit. So if you see like videos of me like, oh, here's my PayPal, fuck PayPal. they shut my shit down. That's how they get you, try to control the funding. I realizing, man, I'm the king of the struggle. Just like you motherfuckers take shit away from me. I figure out how to do shit. I just got to get more ingenious with it. Revolution is coming whether you want it or not. My girlfriend wants to know, Highway, you look like that. Highway, we're talking about I'm assuming you mean why. But I just always got the I call it steampunk revolutionary. Look like the future, the past mixed into one. Is that Kwame Nkrumah had, or is that Ibrahim Traore? He's just a genuine revolutionary. Got the Sankofa, always going back for what is ours, sharing the knowledge, the wisdom, not going off of the script that was given to us. I mean, it gets deep. Revolution the Musical. You can check it out. It's one of the songs. I got this in the cover. You got it. I know it's hard to keep up, but try to. Hey, bro, where can I find all the Rewind videos? I mean, they're in. Okay, yeah, you're not on my Rumble. Rumble.com has the newest ones. So it's like, all of the later stuff, the Spawn, Ninja Turtles, the new Ninja Turtles movie, the new Sonic the Hedgehog, all that stuff, that's over on the Rumble. But then the largest back catalog is over at Odysee.com/ @Netflix, and that's ODYSEE for Odysee. It's spelled different, but yeah, it's hard for me to keep that one up to date because it's like criteria that needs to be met before I can make an upload. It's not like I can just do a mass upload. It's weird, and I haven't been keeping up with that one. But I'm gonna check it out now that we're talking about it. I do have like other videos I was able to recover that. I haven't uploaded yet. Creatives aren't typically businessmen and women. Yeah, you give shit away because you want people to have it. If it's worth having, everyone should have it. Don't want people to be deprived, especially if you come from the struggle. Like you've been redeemed by others. You just want to help in any way you can. It's always gonna be Twitter. Yeah. It's just like he didn't invent it. Why can't he rename it? Why is he buying this shit? He's buying it with our money. Then he's like, oh, dude, I'm gonna ease up some of the censorship. He still censors shit that doesn't suit his agenda. And then he like just said like, oh, I'm a good person. Nah, if you were a good person, you would be like, you know what? $1 billion is more than enough. I'm gonna stop taking all this welfare. It's like I was watching Judge Judy. She's always talking about people on welfare, and like, why aren't you paying this ticket? And she's making it seem like that's normal when the ticket is like $5,000. Like someone working at McDonald's, they can't afford that shit. But yeah, people who don't come from hard times, people who don't who never had to like pay for their own rent, like people who always had just like um, stuff kind of taken care of, like people like the Trumps who's like, yeah, I borrowed $1 million from my dad, just this measly million. It's like everybody else. Just most people they got like hundreds of millions or whatever. I only got like a measly 10 to 14 million. And then I turned that into 15 million. And it's just like when you get certain amounts of money, you can't fuck up, right? Elon Musk, like just think about the interest on $1 billion every year. Put it in like an interest maximizer account. That's 5%. 5% of $1 billion a year is $500 million. You should be able to live more than comfortably off the interest of that. I can live off the interest of $500 million. You put that 500 million, I wouldn't even touch that. I would live off the interest of that comfortably. Um, but like, for some people, they're just broken. Um, and you look at like any of these people who are like unabashedly proud billionaires, don't contribute shit. Um, all these motherfuckers are just openly admitting they have no value whatsoever. Your value is derived not by what you have, but by what you can go without. And if you need $100 billion, you're broken. And I don't trust you with that kind of money because I'm not seeing any of them try to end homelessness or end world hunger. None of them have less money at the end of the year. They further corrupt everything. Then at the end, they have more money than they started with. So it's just like, why do you need to continue accumulate this mass amount of wealth when it's like doing nothing but just rotting in your bank account? Lock them up. They're criminals. I mean, or we could just say investigate everybody who's connected to Epstein Island. Everybody who's been there 27 times, like Bill Clinton or Bill Gates or all of those creeps. Can you drop the links in chat? If that's not too much, I can try. Let me see. And then it corrects, and I'm like, I got the whole thing slanted, so I can't. Yeah, and my keyboard is fucked up. I can't do it right now. 1 second. All right, I'll if someone else could do that, that'd be great. ODYSEE. At symbol Netflix, or if I got like a. I want something else to get me through this. All right. Handwriting is horrible, but Odyssey.com, is that legible? Odyssey.com/S and we'll make it. Sorry. 500 million. You'll never hear from me again. I'm just saying, like, because some people they simp for the billionaires, and a lot of that is because I'm in an area where there's like a lot of Google, a lot of Microsoft employees. Like I'm talking not like truck drivers. There's that too, but it was like a bar I used to go to that had a fuckload of like the corporate Amazon people, and you know they were getting a good amount of money, and they were also living at housing that they got through the job that the corporate job they were bringing them from out of the state, and I'm like that looks like they're giving them like an inflated sense of wealth because like you get $10,000 a month doing this, but then they're also sticking you when it comes to rent. Like so you're renting from them and they setting the price on that shit too. And then obviously you're probably buying most of your shit off of Amazon. But anyways, yeah, I was around a lot of those people, and some of them like they whenever I say something critical of the people who give them the life they think is so comfortable, they take offense, like it's personal. And sometimes it really is like they've been around this, they internalize the propaganda, the bullshit that they're around. But then some of the people like they're profiting off of it, like they're connected. Like it's like Jeff Bezos's and Bill Gates's nephew and niece, they had a baby, and it's just like extremely rich family. And yeah, those are the nitwits who end up controlling anything. People who've never encountered anything real. I mean, only thing comparable is like, you know, like I get similar vibes when I was in LA and I ran into like, you know, like I'll be on set at something. You got the writer, they're about to go on strike because you know the writers they had their strike at the same time that the actors were having their strike. And it's like these are the people who we normally associate with liking the programs we like. It's like, you know, usually good writing and a good actor, and they're both being squeezed by these rich kid offspring, where it's just like you know, like they're the people who can green light whatever picture. They have no talent. They have no worthwhile insight, nothing you want to hear about. But they're in control of everything, and it's usually just because they're connected. They got an agenda that they want to perpetuate, and it's disturbing. Um, uh, when you start talking to these people, you hear how stupid they are, and then you realize they have like the power to shut whatever the fuck you're doing down, right? And they think they're man. I had to have this conversation because sometimes like I'll be trying to figure out is this person just like a billionaire simp or do they actually come from wealth? And like I said, the people who have the most, they come from the most. They always say they're self-made men. It's like, yeah, my dad helped me with my first house. Like he bought me my first rental property. But you know, outside of that, you know, like that's nothing. You know, I had to make my second million on my own. Can literally afford the cost of world hunger. Well, yeah, and what do you do with it? And that's the whole thing. That's why it's just like it should be criminally negligent to have 100 million, 10 billion, or 100 billion, 10 billion, and not do anything to make things better. You still just want more shit. What are you doing? It's like we shouldn't. At no point should we ever trust someone with that kind of money because, I mean, Elon Musk having all that money, all that government working with the Pentagon, and then also building dangerous robots. I mean, this motherfucker, like, he just watched iRobot and Terminator and he plagiarized that shit. And this is where we're at. You got people crazy as shit, all the money in the world and no imagination, and if he thinks that he's entitled, he thinks he's entitled to all your shit. That's why it's just like, they had like this we brought in a bunch of South Africans who we were accusing South Africa of genocide because they legitimately accused Israel of genocide. And now we're trying to tarnish the South African government. Everything is just like, look at these white people over here. They're the victims. We need to do what we can to help these people who are just come from families that killed and stole from all these people. You need to feel bad for them. The biggest generational wealth transfer in American history. So the story goes. Is there a message with your outfit? I mean, it's that steampunk revolutionary, it's very, very Pan-African liberation. Thomas Sankara, Ibrahim Traore with the headgear. Of course, I don't know if you're familiar with Sankofa. I worked on a event where we ended up doing like a showing of the movie Sankofa, but it's also just like it's a Ghanaian bird. I was actually supposed to go to Ghana last year. Complications, but still got the passport ready to move. Yeah, I just stay radically threaded. That's why the clothing brand just invented itself, really. He altered the chatbot on Twitter to talk about white genocide and promote it. I can believe it. I definitely can believe it. That's why it's just like never trust a white person claiming to be a victim of anything. I mean, the Pilgrims, they were like, "Oh, we're escaping religious persecution from a bunch of white Europeans. That gives us the ability to steal the land over here." You got the Israel. They just came up with the same story, different religion. Yeah, I mean, the police. I was watching Judge Judy. Man, that actually. That shit rubs me wrong in a lot of ways. Get a little sidetracked. I also need to get off some, but it was a episode on the war on drugs where her position was like, yeah, weed is bad. It was actually someone who was bringing up Gary Webb and how he exposed how the government was working to bring crack into underprivileged communities. And Judy was like, "Shut up. I don't care. You sound crazy." I'm like, nah, he sounded like he was prescient, like he was on what was going on, but they were trying to silence that shit. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Probably do a rewind on that. I've seen that attire before. You've seen it before? Well, I mean, this is commonplace at this point. Everyone wearing the same garment. That's why I got it, so I could fit in. Yeah, but I got the countdown going. So it's going to give me the boot whether I want them to or not. I feel what you're saying, though. Thank you. Thank you. I see you still working out. Good job. I do what I can, or at least eating healthy. Well, you got to adapt. Anywho, internet, before they cut me out, I want to thank you guys for showing up. I know it's kind of spontaneous. I'm going to get back on the regular rotation. I'm still getting this whole space in the order, but we're gonna get to the Draw My Life coming up on nateflix.net or rumble.com/nateflix. And yeah, keep on fighting. Like Fred Hampton said, I am a revolutionary. Say it every day, mean it, and let's build this new world. Be good to each other. Peace. America is a circus. Toodles.